Hello, crafty crafters. This is Karen with Creative Paper Artisan. Welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so happy that you decided to stop in and take a gander. So today I decided to go with something that I've had in my head for a while, but you know, time always is an issue for me. So I'm trying to use up papers that I've had for a long time, and I kind of want to downsize my scraps and papers that I don't like anymore, or never really did. Like this paper, the colors are lovely, but it's just not my look. It's not my style, and that's everybody has their own style. This may be beautiful to you, and that's cool too. But this is not exactly my cup of tea. So I'm going to be using this as the backing for a masterboard. A lot of people will do a masterboard on a 12 by 12 sheet, and that's even better. But I don't have a 12 by 12 that I don't like. So I don't want to cover it up. I want to save it for 12 by 12 type of projects. So I thought, you know what, this works just fine. And isn't this silly? There's like a hole there. It came in a book. It's got to be at least like 15 years old or something. It's pretty old. And there's just so many pages in there that I'm like, not for me. And the fact that it has a hole is kind of silly too, because it was perforated. I could just, slide it out. And I could trim this off, but just on principle, I'm not going to. I'm going to make it work. So, but besides doing that, I had a thought. I was punching out a bunch of my little leaf punches to just kind of have handy and kind of stocked up on these cute little leaf shapes. And it dawned on me, why not use this in a masterboard as well? Kind of like a reverse thing, you know what I mean? Like a negative instead of a positive. Like a photo, So I'm going to experiment with it a little bit more. And I'm going to call this a waste not, want not masterboard because we're not going to waste anything, or at least not much, as little as possible. So I went ahead, since I'm going to do leaves, and I have some more fun leaf stamps that I got used from a friend, and I'm so excited to use these. I haven't yet. Yay. Since I have a bunch of leaf stamps, I'm going to do kind of like a nature botanical kind of masterboard. And so I just pulled, I want to use these scraps up. So I want to do kind of like an earthy thing. This is a little paper from Temu. And I thought this is a little steampunky, but I thought that might kind of look nice too. And another paper from a little booklet I have. I like it, but I think it, so I'm not necessarily like trying to get rid of it, but I think it might lend itself nicely to this. And then this is another scrap from a 12 by 12 that I think will work with these colors as well. So I'm just going to kind of go for it. And I'm going to, of course, use a book page as part of the background because, why not? Book pages are lovely. So just in case you don't know what a masterboard is, because I didn't for a long time, it's basically just a larger piece of paper that you collage. You just do a collage. You just do, arrange random bits and pieces. You can be as random as you want, or you can make it kind of coordinate a little bit. I'm going to try to, as you can see, this is all going to coordinate. I have a tendency to like coordination. But if you wanted to do just completely random stuff, that's totally cool too. So, I say go for what feels good to you. And then what you do with the masterboard afterwards is you can cut tags out of it. You can cut pockets, belly bands. You may want, if you want to make a tag out of it, you could maybe back it on like chipboard or something a little bit more sturdy, or cardstock. Excuse me. But I'm just going to leave it as this paper. This paper is actually a little bit thicker than your average paper. And I'm just going to leave it. If I decide to make some tags, and at that point I'll cut the tags out and then add the sturdier background later. But just for now, I'm just going to leave it on this paper. So this is all going to go bye-bye. And I'm just going to fiddle around a little bit and speed it up so you don't have to watch the grueling process of me deciding things. And then I will stop and slow down and kind of show you what I mean with these waste not, want not pieces, okay? All right, here we go. Okay, so got the basic background done. It may look a little bit hodgy-podgy still, but there's more. Wait, there's more. Okay, so this is a paper that I've had this sitting around for a while. I punched out the little cute little green leaves, and I just kind of just left it for a while because I thought, the wheels were turning already, but I didn't quite know what to do about it. So I'm going to actually just kind of make a strip out of this. And maybe just to make it even, shorten that up just a little bit. Okay. All right. And then this is kind of the gist of what I'm saying here. Just kind of add it to the top, right? So all the pretty designs below show through the little holes. But I need more, right? So I'm going to use, let me see. Okay, good. I really like this leaf design, and I want to make more anyway. So hang on, I've got sticky fingers. So here you're really killing two birds with one stone, because, I like to have a bit of a stock on leaves that I can just grab and use for different, embellishments. And I like the idea of punching them out from different papers, so you have a nice variety. So I'm going to go ahead and do it with some of these scraps. I mean, isn't that cool? That'll be a nice little addition to an embellishment. I love that. I love it. Whoops. Except it's easily camouflaged. But see, now I can also use that as another piece of the collage, and I want to make the edges raggedy. So if you kind of do it with a little bit more intention, actually I should have done that higher, but that's okay. I can't quite, that'll be okay. So when you're punching out your shapes for whatever you want, do it a little bit more intentionally, and then you'll be able to use it, the leftover, for other things like this. I need to those are going to get lost. So look, I think that's pretty cool, pretty stinking cool. So let me do that with a few more, and let me do that with these new punches too. A little pretty acorn, not acorn, pine cone. Very cool. That'll look nice somewhere. And then the pine cone looks, wait, am I off camera? Sorry. It looks cool, like something like that, right? So let me just punch out some more shapes, and then we'll lay those down. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it at that, or else it's gonna get too crowded. So let me grab. It's hard to see what's attached and what's not here. I think all this is attached. Okay. And one thing that you do want to make sure, if you're using, especially if you're using glue stick, make sure all your edges are really, really covered with glue, because you don't want anything lifting up, That's kind of a bummer. And also, I didn't mention, it's okay if you have things hanging off. I just happen to have a lot of straight edges. But if you have, things that kind of hang off, just trim it. No biggie. A couple spots here, but you don't have to have a straight edge for the edges. Just lay it down, whatever you have, and trim it later. So, I think I have it upside down. Okay. So now I've got these really cool little, cutouts, and I have a nice stash of leaves and pine cones to add to my little drawer of little extras for embellishments. So that's pretty exciting. So 2 in 1 here, right? And barely any waste. So let me just play around with this a little bit. Oh, you know what? Before I put these down, if you know me at all, I'm usually an inker. And you may have noticed I did not ink any of these edges. First of all, I felt like that was going to be really tedious. But I am going to edge them. I'm going to use this metallic marker ink. And I've done this before on tags. And I'm just going to trace around the edges with this. It's kind of a beautiful coppery. I thought that might look nice with these colors. And this will be a little tedious too. But the edges that have more white and they're kind of more raw are really going to soak up this ink, and it's going to look really cool. And it'll be more, you'll just see like veins of copper going through. And I haven't done it before on a Masterboard. I just did it on tags, but I think it'll look pretty cool because it looked pretty awesome on those tags. So before I put anything more on top, I'm going to do all the edges, and then we'll go from there, okay? Okay, so I sadly ran out of the copper color. I was drying up too much, so I switched to silver, which not ideal, but since it's all kind of hodgepodgey anyway, I think it still works. But you can see already now it looks more finished. I love those edges, nice and finished looking. So now. And I found a few spots of the old paper underneath that I didn't cover, but that's okay because we're still working on covering areas. So, and I may have actually done more than I needed, honestly, because this is already pretty full. And I may end up covering up parts that are already covered. So I may have done a little overkill here, but that's okay. I think I really like the words underneath those leaves. Maybe I'll do that. I'm just going to play around with this a little bit before I glue things down. Okay, so, and since there's all these little bits and pieces, I definitely want to make sure that there's glue everywhere. Now since this is on cardstock, like it's much thicker, I'm going to use my art glitter glue. So it's got a much firmer hold on such a thick thing. And honestly, I'm not sure. As you may have noticed, I've left all of these with straight cuts. Most everything else has raggedy edges. And to be honest, I'm not 100% sure about that. With these, I didn't really leave enough to rip really well. So I may just leave those like that. Excuse me. And honestly, I can't decide. I'm tempted to. All right, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to rip the inside edges and leave the outer edges straight, just so it can, butt up against that. Yeah, I do like that better. Okay. Well, on these, thankfully, I did leave enough, I think. Now, if I had done everything, excuse me, if I had done everything with a straight edge, that'd be a different story. Then I think it would look just fine. But I decided for it to be a little bit more raggedy Ann. Now this one, maybe I'll do it like this because I have a little bit more room here to play. I'm pushing it. I know I'm pushing the envelope here, but I think I can make it happen. Yeah, that was not quite feeling right to me. So here we go. And that's the beauty of paper crafting, it's not feeling right. That's fine. Change it. Easy enough to change most of the time. And if it really ends up being a disaster, that's okay too, because it's just paper. It's just paper. I have to remind myself it's just paper. Okay. Yeah, I do like that better. I do. Okay, so let me do the same for this. And then I felt like I needed to cut these little guys apart to add a little bit more of that green in on just, besides just the edges. That didn't quite feel right either. So just remember, do what feels good to your eyes. What's visually pleasing to you. And it's okay if it's not visually pleasing to, it may not be visually pleasing to somebody else, but that's okay. That's okay. That's kind of neat with the clockwork showing through the leaf there. Let's see. I feel like I need something there. Something there and something there. But I don't think I have enough room to rip. Let me see what I can do here. I think maybe what I might try on these edges where I really don't have much room is, let me get my little handy dandy paper distresser, which I've barely used. I was so excited to get it, and then I've barely used it. So let me see if that might make it raggedy enough without having to rip it. I don't know. You guys. Maybe? I feel like I still need to finish ripping that. It doesn't want to rip very easy now. Okay. All right. And I think that might do the trick. At least it'll be good enough. Maybe if I get the corner around it a little bit more, so it's not a straight corner, and then distress the edge. And all of this is kind of a blade, like different depths of, it looks like different depths of just a blade. So if you don't have one of this, you can just take do the same thing with your scissors, to be honest. It's just, once I got it, I was like, oh, this is one of those fancy tools that are fun to have, but you don't necessarily have to have it, You could make do with something you already have. But I don't hate it. I think it's kind of cool. But that's all it really is a sharp edge on these little grooves there. And I think for my purposes, this will have to do, because I really can't rip the edges like I'd like to. So, bear with me. It's kind of, it's actually doing a pretty good job. Pretty good job. Okay, I think that'll do. And if I do it kind of cattywampus, then it won't look as straight. Okay, so let me figure out where to place these two. Okay, now we just need to do the outlines on those. And you know what? I was just thinking, I also have a gold. Maybe the gold will go better with the bronze. The silver, I usually like silver a lot, but I don't know. The silver doesn't quite feel right on this one. Let me go over with gold. I'm not sure I like that either. Let me see. It makes me sad that the bronze or the copper ran out. I'm not crazy about this gold, but it does blend better, I think. Yeah, it's probably better than the silver. I wonder. I'm gonna try this. I wonder if it just needed a rest. I wonder if it needed a rest. Let me see. No, it's out. It's a little bit coming out, but not much. That makes me sad. I'll at least cover up this one because it looks a little funky now. Okay. All right. Okay, I'll keep going with the gold. But what I like about this is doing, especially on the raggedy edges, you just lightly just follow along the paper and just let the paper guide you. And it just looks so cool. I just really like the effects of it. And if you don't get right along the edge, it doesn't matter because it's all jaggedy. It's all jaggedy anyway. And you know what? I wonder, I hadn't thought about doing the inside. I'm not sure I like that. It's too late now. Too late now. I might like that well, it's actually not bad. If it was the copper, I think I'd like it better. But that's not bad. And this tip is a little bit thicker, so it's not it's a little bit thicker than I'd like. But you know what? It's not horrible. I think it's grown on me, especially if I try to stick to the green paper and not let it go onto the underneath paper. I think that might be better. Okay, let me just finish these up here. All right, there it is. The gold definitely works a little bit better with the copper, but I'm still sad. I don't even remember where I got this. I'm sad. I'm gonna have to look into this. A safe bet is either Hobby Lobby or Amazon. So, but this is perfect. This was the perfect color. Okay, well, I won't cry over that anymore. So there you have it. I think it's pretty cool. Let me do a little close up. Whoops. So you can kind of see the. I just think it's a neat look with the negative images coming through. So yeah. So there. Now I have extra little leaf designs, but I didn't waste a bunch of paper punching them out. And next time I'm going to be a little bit more intentional. So again, if you're not familiar with a Masterboard, I'm not going to cut this up yet because I don't know where I'm going to put it and what I'm going to want. But I'm just going to hang on to it and like stash it away. And then if I'm needing these colors anywhere, you know, I can make a belly band by, you know, cutting a strip here. And one of the things that's kind of adds a little bit fun to the game is when you cut. Because see, I have a tendency to be, I want to be too controlling. I'm like, oh, I don't want to cut in the middle of that. And oh, I don't want to, you know. So if you actually flip it over and then you cut your strips or cut your tags, like, you know, cut this much width for maybe 2 tags. And then you cut your little angles in the tops. But just cut your pieces from the back. That way, when you turn it around and it's like Christmas. You don't know what you're going to get until you've turned it around. See, like me, I would want to try to make this one leaf, make sure that that's part of a tag. But if only half of it happens, that's cool too. But I wouldn't. I would just have to do it haphazardly by doing it backwards. Or else I'd try to be too much of a control freak. So this is like a really good exercise for me to not just try to be too perfect, just let it flow. And I don't know. I think this is a fun idea, a fun scrap buster for me. And I hope maybe that you've got some inspiration from this too. Kind of, you know, 2 in 1. You get your scraps out of the way. You get your fun little shapes. Whoops. Get your fun little shapes made. And then you get a masterboard as well. So I hope that this has inspired you. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you did. Like the video, comment below. I love talking with you guys and getting your ideas and your opinions. So please do all of the above, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.